I'm going to talk about today is to show you ways that you can use humor as a business skill so that you can communicate faster, you can have more fun when you're doing it, and the rules are incredibly simple. Laughter is a celebration of life, that we have fun, that we use it for ourselves, and that we share it. And anyone can do what we're going to talk about today. I checked into a hotel in Miami. It was 100 degrees outside. I get up to my room. I can't wait to turn up the air conditioning. I open the door. It's a blast furnace. I pick up the phone, and before I can say a word, this young man goes, "Sir, I can't talk to you right now. We had a transformer blow up outside the hotel." And I said, "Is it the Decepticons? Am I in danger here?" And he goes, "Sir, it's not Transformers." And then he says, "What would you like us to do?" "You need to call Optimus Prime. That's what you need to do." I came down the next morning, and there was a note signed by the general manager who said, "My staff laughed about this all night long." Humor is what we do to survive. When you change your perception, you actually create a different reality.
Tim teaches how to develop and apply comic vision. Tim has spoken at more than 2,000 events around the globe. Today, Tim will teach us how to use humor to quickly connect with any audience. So get ready to let go and to have fun. Please help me welcome Tim Gard.
Woohoo! Hello? Konnichiwa? Hola? So many languages are being spoken here, but there is something that brings people together, and it is one thing, it's laughter. We all smile and laugh in the same language, right? And what happens is it draws us together. Who wants boring training? Nobody. But when you laugh, you feel good. And what occurs within you is you want more of it. And what I'm going to talk about today is to show you ways that you can use humor as a business skill so that you can communicate faster, you can have more fun when you're doing it, and the rules are incredibly simple about how it works.
People today are not looking for what I call Peter Pan advice. The people need real-life ideas on how to build their businesses, deal with the situational stress factors that are on all around them, and be able to do that voodoo that they do so well. And my seminars are based on a very simple premise, and it's this.
Our days are a series of good and bad things. True or false? True. When something bad happened, I put my hand right here and I say, "Bummer." Try that. Bummer. You let it go. When something good happens, I do this. Woohoo! Try that. Sometimes you just do it in your mind. I mean, when a beautiful woman sits next to me on the airplane, I don't go, "Woohoo!" Not anymore. But I've discovered that as I go through my day, it's going to be a series of what? And what? And with a little work, I can take the what and turn it into what? I flew out here from Denver, Colorado. The airport out there has been under construction for 20 years. The sun is due to burn out in 100 million years. They're going to finish that project in the dark. But I go up to the counter to get my ticket at the 1K desk, and there's a guy ahead of me that is on the exact same plane that I'm going to be on, and he is yelling at the person behind the desk because our flight to Las Vegas had been delayed due to mechanical reason. And he goes, "I don't care if that plane's broken. I have to go to Las Vegas. I don't care if that plane is broken." And he walks off. And I walked up and I said, "I have a different opinion. If the plane is broken, I'm not getting on. And quite frankly, you can't make me." And it made him laugh. And he said, "Mr. Gard, you made me laugh. I'm going to upgrade you to first class for free." And I get up to the gate, and I go to hand my ticket to the ticket person. I said, "Hey, I got upgraded to first class for free." And this young man says, "Mr. Gard, there's only one class of service on this airplane." That is a cruel hoax, people. But I go to get on the plane, and the seating configuration is 2 and 2. So I'm in the bulkhead aisle seat, and the gentleman sitting across from me over here is in the bulkhead aisle seat. The galley's right here. This gentleman is wearing pajama bottoms. Now, I am not the fashion police, but I had to ask myself, what clothing did he bypass that this was, in fact, his best choice of uniform of the day? And he wants a margarita. It's 9 o'clock in the morning. He wants a margarita. And he's going, I want a margarita. And the flight attendant says, the galley's not open. We don't have margaritas. I want a margarita. Galley's not open. I want a margarita. And it's getting intense. And I can see the muscles on her back writhing like some alien show. She's getting angrier and angrier and angrier. And he finally says, I want a margarita. And she gives him a beer, which shut him up. Now, I've done nothing, but she looks at me. I've done nothing except sit next to Pajama Bottom Man. And P.S., I'm supposed to be in first class, but she looks at me and she goes, what do you want? And I knew she needed help. And I looked up at her and I said, do you have Tang? I just like a glass of Tang, please. And she actually opened the drawer to look, and she goes, there's no Tang. What would your second choice be? And I said, can you make me a milkshake? I mean, I don't know what flavors you have today, but... And she goes, there's no milkshakes. What would your third choice be? I would like a margarita, like that guy. And she just burst out laughing, and she said, Mr. Gard, this is the beginning of my trip for the week. If I would have had trouble, it would have followed me all throughout my day, my whole trip. And she said, you made me laugh, and I appreciate it. And I told her, this is what we do for each other, that laughter is a celebration of life, that we have fun, that we use it for ourselves, and that we share it. And so what we do then is we want to get better and better and better at it. And the use of humor is just one more way to communicate with people. It's an option that you have, and it is humor as a skill. And this is not a theory. This has been field tested, folks.
I write 5 jokes every day because if I'm going to talk about creativity, I better be able to do it. And this is how I've changed my own game. And it does work. So I did this. I write 5 jokes a day. Here's one you might like. This is one of the ones I wrote. According to new research, writing down your negative thoughts and throwing them in the trash can help a bad mood. I tried it, and although happier, I really miss my iPad.
My background, I worked for the state of Montana Human Services. I was an eligibility worker that got welfare benefits to people who are hungry and needing food. If you want stress, try deny giving food to people. Stressful, very stressful. And the part of it is that it never goes away. I had to find a way to deal with the stress. And throughout this, I kept getting promoted over and over, not because of competence, but because of attrition. And I found that there were things that I could do to help deal with the stress, and I want you to be able to deal with that and also be able to let you do that voodoo that you do so well and that you burn bright and not about burning out. Humor is simply the combining of ideas that aren't normally associated with one another. That's all it is. When you combine those ideas and it makes you laugh, then that's where the humor is. And it is a learnable skill. Whether it's storytelling, telling a joke, is simple in its elegance. So here's the thing. I know you're not shy, but there are going to be times I'm going to ask you questions. And if you talk to me today, you will get freebies. Do you like freebies? When I check into a hotel, I always say to them, do you have any freebies today? And they'll go, no. And I'll go, then these are for you. Next thing you know, I'm in a suite. Woohoo! This connected me to that person faster than any word would. Is that right? And we can do the same thing with our audiences and those around us to resolve any barriers that are there. Stress is based not on an occurrence, but your perception of an event. It is not the event of the situation, it is our perception of that. And every day you have a series of choices about how you're going to choose to do that. And neuroscience is now talking about why these things happen and why toxic people stay and remain toxic for so long. The science of it is out there.
Cortisol, when you get upset and angry, when you get stressed, all of these chemicals, they're released in your brain that gives you tunnel vision, arthritis, decreased immune system, hostility, and the more you do it, the quicker these become. They're almost a reflex. What I want you to learn to do is when you laugh and feel good, your brain releases this oxytocin, which doesn't start off, it's a very good word, but the rest of it is. But it makes your relationship stronger. People that laugh and feel good, we want to be around them. True or false? We work with those that we find likable. And it increases your likability. It also increases our ability to connect with sales.
And this is what we want to concentrate on, getting people to have released to them when you talk so that they feel better and they learn faster. And it's not, Britney Spears said, it's not rocket surgery. When something happens that's a bummer, you've got to let it go. And just by saying, bummer, I stop that cycle because it makes me smile as it is. And the comic vision, the ability to see things funny, to be present, to pay attention, is another part of the process. And the woohoo, that elicits a oxytocin response. Your fun equals your comic vision, and it enables you to connect with people quickly. This is my luggage. A lot of you have rollerboards. Mine is the only one that has orange chicken feet sticking out of it. Why is that? Why do I have chicken feet? It's fun. Here's why I did it. It's when TSA goes, sir, may I look in your bag? Now, what are my options, seriously? Don't look in there. Scary things. But this young man reaches in Denver, Colorado, takes the rubber chicken out. He's not even surprised it's a whole rubber chicken. Takes the rubber chicken out and examines it. And he begins to frisk it. And I'm biting my lip, I have tears coming down my face, and he flips it over, squeezes right here, the legs go apart. I start laughing. He goes right down to the toenails, and he goes, it's clear. But when you shift your perception, you create your own experience, a different experience, and it is long-lasting. It's a matter of looking at things just a little bit differently. You ever been in a boring meeting so bad you wanted to fake a heart attack to get out of it? I used to be with USDA Food and Nutrition Service, and I love those folks. Sitting there with me and my supervisor and about 12 other people, reading the minutes, and I start going to sleep. I cannot stop it. Gravity is, I have lost control of the upper part of my body. I'm going down. And I don't know what to do. And I know if I fall asleep, I'm going to get in trouble. I've got to figure out a way to get out of this terrible mess. And all I had to work with was a pen and a piece of paper in front of me. And I thought to myself, what would MacGyver do? You know, how can I MacGyver my way out of this? You know, and is that my pen? Straight out the door. And I'm standing out there wondering if my career is over, and not 10 seconds later, another pen goes flying out the door. It's my supervisor, and he goes, good one, let's not do this again, though. Yes, sir. While you're still working, while you're doing a job, I found that I needed to find ways of dealing with that stress for me. We must be able to use the humor for ourselves before we can go any further out there and be able to find ways that make us laugh and make us feel good. And you use it to the smile generators, the stories and jokes, all of these things together, and it's everyday items in different ways. These cell phones have changed our planet forever. I like to put it in my pocket and go into Best Buy. And I'll walk in and go, just looking at that new iPhone 6, and they always say the same thing, what do you have now? Well.
But it's not even the phones, it's the Bluetooth devices. The problem with the Bluetooth is I can't tell who's in a meeting and who's mentally ill. I'm sitting again at DIA, and I always go to the place that boarded just prior to my flight, what's close, where it's all empty. There's not a seat around me for 10, 20 rows. And I'm seated right here, reading my book, enjoying a little bit of what George Bush called quietude, just a moment to myself. And there's this guy over here. He's got his Bluetooth on. He's doing this. You don't think we can ship that order by Tuesday? No. Yeah, no, not by Tuesday. No. Yeah. No. And he's walking towards me. He's getting Doppler radar. Yeah, I don't think we can ship that order by... No. Yeah. And he sits right next to me. Not 2 seats down, literally right next to me. He has no idea there's another human being in any close proximity. And I'm not mad. I'm fascinated. This guy is in his own little world. And I hear him go, I don't think we can ship that order by Tuesday. And I thought, say that one more time. And he goes, I don't think we can ship that order by Tuesday. And I said, I need that order by Tuesday. You told me you'd ship that order by Tuesday. You better ship that order by Tuesday. And it's if I appeared out of thin air. You know, he goes back like this. And he says, sir, I'm not talking to you. Well, the guy on the phone still thinks he's talking to him. And so in the next breath, he goes, no, I'm talking to you. I said, I'm talking to you. You better ship that order by Tuesday. Don't you walk away from me. I will find you. Then I changed seats before the police came, but
I'm going to have fun and nobody's going to stop me. And this is the gift that I want you to have. We want you to keep doing that voodoo that you do so well. And that as things and roadblocks get put in your way, that those bummers become what? Woohoos. That you keep improving your ability to speak. And that's the thing with me. It is not a destination. It is a journey. And I challenge you all, and I hope to see you all again. Laugh at the things you can. Be serious about the things you have to. Use your comic vision. Raise your right hand. Repeat after me. I state your name. Promise to use my comic vision every day. I'll have fun. I'll use humor for myself. And I'll share it. Hi, sign. Thanks for sharing it with me. Woo-hoo. Thank you very much.